approximately 400 years after Adam Rishon. Okay, so that's it's said that this star will come back every 5,600 years. Every 2,800 years. 2,800 years. It's said in the Gemara that this star was in the Malbul, the big flood. That was about 5,600 years ago. 2,800 years ago, the time of Joshua, when the sun stood 2 days in the sky, which is basically, a polar shift. Okay, I will first tell you guys what's written in the Gemara. First in Masechet Brachot Nuntet, I will translate it as I read into English. And at the hour, the Kadosh Baruch Hu asked to bring Mobile to the world. He sent 2 stars from warm stars, and he brought Mobile to the world, the flood to the world. And he asked for 2 stars of fire, like we see here, Niburu, a star of fire. Then we go on, and it is said that no prosecutor will act as a lawyer. So it's a judgment which have to be fulfilled. And then it's written by Rabbi Nachman, and in the future he will bring them back and fire upon them. Then further on, it is written that at the hour, the Kadosh Baruch Hu remembers his sons and the suffering they had. He will bring judgment to the peoples of the world, and he will bring 2 stones in the big sea, which we know it is the Atlantic. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's very, very simple what we can see here. There's a big judgment coming to earth. It's going to be fulfilled. Okay. Furthermore, it's also written in Masechet Avoda Zarah about Joshua. That was 2,800 years ago. And it is said that the sun will be darkened and the moon will be like blood. And then it will come on a big goy who is an enemy of us. Okay, further it is written that he will bring 2 Evanim. It's written 2 stones from Shamayim, 2 stones from heaven. I will read and look because, this is pretty hard for me to translate it. But in any way, we see again it is written here that he will bring 2 rocks from the sky and bring judgment upon them who burned down the house, the holy temple. And it's written that the judgment will become on Edom. And it's written in the Zohar Kadosh that like the Egyptians had hail of brimstone, which were meteoroids basically, that was one of the punishments upon Egypt. In the future it will bring it upon the sons of Edom, which is known as Esau, which is known as the sons of Rome and their offspring, the Western world, ladies and gentlemen. It means that within the Atlantic Ocean, where we know it, in the big sea, it's just like we've seen in the movies, Armageddon, we've seen it on Deep Impact. It's not for nothing that subliminal, they already transmit that they're talking about 2 asteroids falling down in the Atlantic Ocean. And it is seen and it's known, it's been calculations. The FEMA has prepared on these issues, which you see all around YouTube, It will pass on the asteroid belt. And it will just, by a small pinch, knock out 2 asteroids. And when it will be, its velocities may higher, but they will start slowly start to go faster and faster and faster towards Earth. And obviously they will be drawn into the sun by its gravity. So because Niburu pulls them away out of their orbit, they will start falling down. When Niburu will be the way out, actually then the asteroids will be plumbing in. So we think, oh, Niburu's gone. No, just a very nice aftermath. Okay, so we see it in the entire Torah. It's said, and here exactly, and in the Anish, before the sons of Israel, those who burned down the house of God. And because of it, the Lord will send upon them big stones from the sky, and they will die. Okay? So basically what's going to happen at all the western coastal areas is going to be hit. It's going to be a big disaster. And we know that the Messiah is coming very quickly and fast. And the Lord will bring down judgment upon those who burn down our holy house, our sanctuary. And this is very important to know, that everyone has to follow the way of Hashem to find salvation in those dark days. It's written all over the holy books. It will happen and will come quickly. And we see all those signs. What can we see? What are those signs? Those signs, for instance, it's seen very clearly. We had red sunsets, very red sunrises. The sun is not that hot as it used to be. The red blood moons we have seen the past 2 years. A very big, extraordinary amount of like 5 times blood moon, which normally happens like every, 30, 40 years. Such an occasion is not for nothing. It's a reflection of this red dwarf, which will send out its infrared light. As you can feel, a lot of people have sensed it the last days, that when they go outside they feel a heat. It's much warmer than normally, and they feel a heat. It's 10 degrees warmer than normally and people feel heat, but it's not a regular heat of the sun. They feel like some itchy feeling on their skin. It's an infrared radiation, which is being emitted by this dark star. So all these sunrises, all these Niburu videos, I've posted on my channel already 2 of them. It's all those signs. It's coming up. It's coming up. And we have to prepare ourselves. We have to know that this judgment is going to be fulfilled. And evil will be eradicated from this world. And it doesn't matter if you're Jewish, non-Jewish. It's not the matter. We have to follow the way of Hashem, because Hashem is going to protect the ones who are going to follow His ways. For all the Gentiles in the world who are not Jewish, there are some simple rules to find salvation to what is coming upon us. 7 rules every son of man